Good, good. Okay. So still more of the same from earlier today, but we will get this done. I won't be done today, obviously. So we have a search for clues. We have okay. That's the title, right? A search for clues. We have John becomes a knight, which isn't going to show up, but yeah, John becomes a knight. Um, Princess is missing. Hubert's old flame. Guess who's back in town? Guess who's back in town? Right. I almost forgot why I called it that. Rendezvous at the Renaissance. Okay, so I'm going to now extract. I'm going to extract each of their specific deals. A search for clues. Um, so we're going to take this out. Right. We are going to go to the next one. We are going to take. Actually, let's do something else here. Go back here. Okay, search for clues. All right. So here we are going to take this chapter 3. Hebrew goes to school, and this does have display title just because in the editor when I make it so I can tell which page or which room is which. But night school. Okay, and then we delete the rest of it. That's and that one's John becomes a knight. Okay. Um, okay. And then this one is a princess is missing. Could say our princess is missing. It's like one of our something is missing. There's like an old movie or something. I forget. But okay. Night school, princess prep. And that's all I have for that. Even though I do have a full deal for that. Chapter 3 is going to be kind of a large one, but so like I don't know how long the rest of these chapters are going to be. Maybe it'd make more sense if they were kind of like the same length, or they were short and then they got longer or something. This is just going to be based on the grouping, and uh, there's four different deals that they're going for, but it's all for the same. I guess if you wanted to say story beat, it's story beat. Story beat is they search for clues and they find some clues, as to what's going on in Shadowlands. So these will all be together regardless of how many pages I actually have in it. John seeks the Princess Bride. Fierce learns first that was supposed to be Grand Enchanted Landian. What's this one called? A Princess is Missing. Um, all right. This one. So that's just going to be that. Okay. And then this one, Hubert's Old Flame. And I don't know if I made that up on the spur of the moment or what, because I think maybe the person he knows is a fairy godmother that he knows. Um, and maybe I figured maybe he had you know, maybe he had a girlfriend, basically. Fairy God College. Okay. Then we have Guess Who's Back in Town. Neighbor goes to school. Okay. So there's that. And then finally, Rendezvous with the Renaissance. We'll leave that up there, and we will do this. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and save this. We're going to save room data. We are going to go in and I'm going to clear this output thing. Okay, so actually, let's just, there we go. I'm going to move this out of the way. And even though this is actually the chapter here, back to school, these here are the actual, right? The 6 things here. Okay. So, okay, so now here's the kind of the deal here. Here, let's move this. Wait. Actually, let's move this down here like this. Let's move this. Actually, let's do this. Well, let's do this like this. Okay. Then, so. All right. Okay, so here's the deal, right? So, I can't put anything in between. Here, let's actually do this. Move this to the side a little bit. We're gonna take these, and we're gonna move these to the side, the other side a little bit. So, just for me, right now. So, there would be no decisions between John's stuff and Hubert's stuff. And there wouldn't be any in-betweens in between each of the schools. In other words, I wouldn't have any interesting choices in here if I just did this as the split. So that means that we're going to kind of have to do... I'm going to kind of have to use all the old things for each like part. Actually, you know what? Let's do this a little bit differently. I mean, I'm not actually doing it differently. What I'm doing, though, is I need to give it a ton of room. So, let's go ahead and let's take all of these. Let's drop, Control Z. Okay. Now, I move these. Okay, so I move these down, like so. I'm gonna take all of this stuff here. This. And move it up here like that. Okay, this stuff we're gonna move to the side. So, now, here I'm gonna drop it like it's hot. Here I'm gonna raise the roof. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so these are gonna be way out here, and these are gonna be way out here like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna give it quite a bit of room there, and this quite a bit of room down here, like so. Now, this isn't just for fun. I'm not trying to build some sort of animal out of these lines. Okay, so first let's save it, and then let's also save the room data. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to give enough room because each of these are going to have like a lot of cards in between it, or a lot of cards within them or around them, or however you want to say it. Okay. In fact, maybe I shouldn't have done it this way too. Um, let's do it. Let's just be a little bit more logical here. Let's take these. Oh, Control Z, and this, and let's go ahead and drop it down. Oop. Let's take this. Wait a second. Um, actually, I'll actually do this. It's crazy. I know it's crazy, but I'm making sure that I have enough room for everything. Now, we're just going to take this. It'll be over here. This is going to be like that. This is going to be way over here, and this is going to be like, we're just going to drop it down, drop it. These, drop them down. Kind of, okay, so it's kind of on purpose. It's ridiculous, I know it. But each of these are going to have their own deal, and I want to make sure that, like, if you notice here, this red line here, this connects the Hebert and the John thing. So this isn't going to be a big deal because it's going to be this, it's going to be this, it's going to be down in here somewhere. I'll just, I guess I'll just maneuver things as they go along. So we're up here, search for clues. Uh, okay. Once out of the confines of Lapswood, I'm gonna say this is somewhere else. Hebert tells John he brought him here to help him investigate why everything is closing up in glance. He then uh, um, then tells him where to find. Let's see. Let's say they go to Scarborough Fried Chicken from the start, as a start. So he knows where it's at, and then they rendezvous there. Okay. He then tells him, let's see. And we might even have to tell the story. I don't know if I can do it in the shortened form or what, but we'll just say here, Hubert tells John about the history of Enchanted lands and why he brought him here. Okay, wait. They leave Lapswood heading east. heading east until they run into Fogon Lake. They eventually get to the fair, only to find most of the restaurants and inns be closed up. Heading to a place called Scarborough Fair Chicken. Scarborough Fair. I kind of wonder about that. Well, oh, wrong deal, wrong deal. Here's my deal. Okay. Uh, Scarborough Fair was a poem first, correct? Traditional English folk ballad. Okay, not a poem. All right, that's fine. Evolved from an older Scottish ballad called the Elfin Knight, which dates at least 17th century. The song features dialogue and possible tasks between lovers, passed down orally long before formally collected in the 19th century. A familiar version of the refrain, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme, became widely known uh, through the 20s, especially by Simon and Garfunkel. Um, what's the name of the actual Simon and Garfunkel song? I don't remember if it's Scarborough Fair, if it's Presley Sage, Rosemary, Thyme, or what. I don't remember. Um, Scarborough Fair, Canticle. Okay. Okay, so the original ballad, not the Scottish original, but what it became, was it. Okay, so was fair ever spelled with an E? Fair. I'm still calling the Renaissance Fair with an E on purpose, just to look. Yeah, modern archaic spelling for fair used to evoke historical whimsical feel. The original medieval fair in Scarborough was historically spelled Fair. The spelling Fire is commonly used today in names of festivals, shops, and artistic works. Old world, um, not the original historical spelling, but deliberate stylistic choice. Okay, so I have two things in my game. The aforementioned, aforementioned Renaissance Fair, which I purposely added an E to, and Scarborough Fair Chicken, which I also had an E on, but was thinking maybe since I already used fair once that I should leave it fair at the chicken place. Okay, so I'm just really just telling it to see what it comes. Modern stylized variant. Okay. fare for the restaurant. Okay, that sounds all right. Um, it's a sort of medieval take on Kentucky Fried Chicken. Um, and also because it's funny because my game is comedy or comical or comical or whatever you want to say. Um, um, time is sort of irrelevant. Irrelevant. Relevant. Is time is sort of irrelevant in the fact. See something here. Where? Oh, there's my chat. There's my chat thing. Okay. So medieval take also because it's funny because my game is comedy. Time is sort of irrelevant in the fact that it's set in a contemporary time period. I tend not to set things in current time date because I lead a relatively sheltered life. So most of the stuff I remember is from the 80s, maybe early 90s. Didn't like the 90s so much. So I'm probably setting it in the late 80s. However, everything in Enchanted Lands has a timeless or medieval quality about it. Modern conveniences, but facilitated by magic. And again, modern meaning possibly up to the early 90s. Works better for consistency and authenticity, especially since it references traditional ballad using fair once. Okay, right. Humor shines through the juxtaposition of a KFC parody in the Magical Kingdom. Yeah. Of course, back in the 80s and early 90s, it wasn't called KFC, it was called Kentucky Fried Chicken. And maybe I'll use SFC in here. Just you know, like I said, the time is sort of irrelevant in this game. Okay, so even though it's I kind of wasted time with that. I gotta actually get back to this. Um, I only have about 30 minutes left, I think, because I did stuff late and I don't know, just a couple things. That's not a big deal though. I won't say that I'll get it done tomorrow, but I'll say I'll get the chapter done by the end of the week, hopefully. So we'll have chapter 3 done, and then that's actually, you know what? I said 20%. That's only 10%. I got 20 chapters. So this would be 15% done of the game. But hey, in a couple of weeks, getting up to whatever it was, 20% versus spending a whole year, or we'll say six to 9 months, getting up to 20%. I think we're doing pretty good. The real test is when I actually have to come up with more stuff, and at the same time, I'm keeping the amount of pages down. Okay, they leave Lapswood heading east until they run into Orthogon Alley. They eventually get to the fair, only to find most of the restaurants and inns closed up. Heading to a place called Scarborough Fair Chicken, uh, they get a table, and Hebert lays everything out. Okay. He tells John the story of how it was your ordinary average magic kingdom, and that he suggested to the king. I need to dang it. The output is too big again. That's why I got to continue working on the tool. But I didn't want to work on it yet because I got a couple of things to do in here. Can we just say okay? Clear it, and then blow it back up. He suggested to the king. He suggested to the king to turn it into a tourist resort, and it was going remarkably well. Hebert then lays out the rest and tells John he brought him here to figure out what's going on. He sends John to the west toward night school and princess preparatory academy, while and tells him to return. He tells John he himself is heading for Wizard View and Fairy College. He suggests John meet him back here at Scarborough Fair Chicken. Hit 1 to continue. Okay. I can actually go ahead and just delete this part. Alright. Of course, it's kind of long, sort of, and maybe I'll find a way of shortening that in the final deal here. Okay, Control S. Let's go ahead and save room data. Go ahead and clear this out. Okay. Search for clues. Now, Chapter 3. Title, Chapter 3. Title's not Chapter 3, though. This is Chapter 3. This title is A Search for Clues. Search for clues. Okay. Okay. Control S, say room data. All right. Now we go to the first one. First one is night school. Okay. Night school enters, talks to the guards, gains entrance to the school. This was going to speak of Princess Pep, never made it. Someone tells him the knights are using real weapons and dragons are terrorizing small villages. Okay, so the question is, do I try to split this up or do I try to go to the old the old project and um okay, should I try to split it up or should I just try to grab the whole thing of John in night school? So I guess the first thing I need to do is I do need to open it though and take a look at it. So uh and here, let's close that. Um because the first thing is night school. Train cabin. Okay, that's Dragon Mount. This is dragon stuff. That is Chester Cave, and this is train cabin. This is wakes up in Lapswood. Uh, oh, Burley, that's right. I don't even know if I have Burley in it later or whatever. Hmm. Well, I know the one thing is I don't need to do the question thing because I can just do that in the little setup, the first page that I was looking at, a search for clues. So already that's good. That means Real Magic Kingdom. We actually have that covered in this page, so we don't need to do that. Okay, so now we're meanwhile back in John's room, a very dapper gentleman is running down Las Vegas Strip evading police on foot while a crow follows him from the air. Um, okay, I do kind of feel bad about leaving all this stuff, even though I'm going to use some of it. In fact, hopefully it'll reemerge when I actually get to the later phases and I regrow it back. But okay, so what's this one? Oh, patron CW decides to do coin magic. Okay. Coins seem to disappear in a buff of one's hands. There's enough coins. It says stop the act to move on. Back in Lapswood, he tells John what he needs to do next. Okay. Okay, so this is the answering questions thing, right? I don't need to actually answer the questions. I mean, I'll have that info in the one page, and it'll be kind of summarized here. Quicksilver, how it works. Okay. So this. Okay, so this. All right. So what's this one called? Night school entrance. What? Where? Oh, ID. Okay, 12 night school entrance. Okay, so now this is it's night school here. Okay, and then this is night school. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use all of this or if I'm gonna try to collapse it a little bit. Oh, okay. All right, so that's him getting into night school. And then this is Hubert at Wizard U. Night school, Wizard U. Fairy God College is at the bottom. It almost doesn't matter the order or the direction they go in, just that they get there. So, in fact, in the real game, when you're walking around, you'll be able to choose which direction for John to go into. Wizard U. Okay. Trophy room. Okay, Princess Prep. Okay, so actually that's not very much. I just realized here. Princess Prep. John arrives at Princess Prep. Okay. Meanwhile, John's trying to figure a way into Princess Prep. Okay. This is actually pretty good here. I guess what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll do all of these because it doesn't seem like the night school thing doesn't seem to take that long, and even Princess Prep. I mean, there's still a lot of pages in here, but it doesn't seem ridiculous, I guess, is the way to say it. So, it looks like I'm getting in most of. Actually, you know what I think I'll do though. What I might do is I might find a way uh, of collapsing these. In fact, what I should do is, um, okay. So this is okay. That's that, and then Long Lost Brothers, and then this is Back to School. So there we go. Okay, there's this. 28 selected. So that's 28. This. Okay. Okay, that's 14. 14 and 28. Okay. So 28 is, I guess, is kind of hefty, you might say, but it's not. It is, but it isn't. Okay. So let's see something here. This to that. Random villages. Zanzibar has some magic shows and some other villages. Okay. Princess Prep. Okay, so that's that. So it's this. Oh, okay. This. These are 29. Okay, so now here's the thing, right? Individual deals, individual chapters, at most was 28, right? So this is going to be 29. It's not out of the pale for as far as everything goes, as far as um, about how many cards or pieces that I have in there. But um, this is going to be kind of a long chapter, so I might want to find a way of collapsing these down. Now let's go back up to night school. Night school 13. And then this is Wizard U. So this one and night school entrance, right? So wait. Okay. All right. So this to this 21. So okay, so there's a thing, right? Twice as big, right? And honestly, there's enough to be its own chapter, but it's not its own chapter. Okay, I have to make a decision whether or not I want the chapter to be this long. But yeah, okay. And these are just the two drawn ones. Then the two Ebert ones are going to be their own thing. So I don't know. I might want to find a way of collapsing this down a little bit. Let's say 30. Uh, let's say 30 a piece. And this is actually going to be like 4 times as large. Well, it's not going to be 30 a piece large, but even 20 a piece, 20 times 4 is 60. That's still kind of twice as large as, say, the largest other one. So maybe part of the thing that I can do is maybe I should go ahead and bring them over completely as they are, and then go ahead and um, I'll go ahead and hold on, let me think for a second. What if I should interleave these two? Switch to John, then you switch to Hubert, then you switch to John, then you switch to Hubert, and then they go back just for this iteration. I might do that. Um, like if I could take this and I could cut it to about half, say 10 or 11 pages, and I could do the same thing with each of them so that they're no more than still encompassing everything, but no more than say 10 to 12 pages or thereabouts, or even up to 15. I mean, that's fine. It doesn't have to be super strict, but strict enough that I don't have 60 60 pages. I have maybe 45 pages or 40 pages or something, you know. I might try that. I might try that. Okay, so what it means is I'll have to bring it over and then I'll have to pare it down. And I can either bring everything over, rename everything, whatever, and then work on the paring down, or I can do it on a case by on a a page by page basis. So I could work on this night school stuff, make sure that I'm able to collapse it down. Um, and really, there's a thing about collapsing it down too. I don't necessarily want to, how do I say it, batch up things. I do, but I don't. Just usually means less choice though too. But how do I say it? I don't want any one page to do too much. I still wanted to do like a few things grouped by different type of thing, right? I don't know. We'll see. I guess what I'll do is I'll work on this. And you know what? I'm not going to. We're almost done here. I'm not going to. I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna do all of them at once. I'm gonna do this segment. I'm gonna bring it over. I'm gonna rename them. Then I'm gonna do the thing about paring it down to hopefully, you know, cut about half of these pages out, and hopefully, kind of almost accomplish the same thing. So we'll do that. Okay. So these are all going to be night schools, but we'll start with night school entrance. Entrance 1, entrance 2, entrance 3, entrance 4, entrance 5, entrance 6, entrance 7, entrance night school, night school 2. Whoa, why do we have nights? Where'd night school 1 go to? That's interesting. 2, night school 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Night school through 7, and no, night school entrance through 7, night school through 13. 12 and 13, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so let's check out. Let's open that in a new tab. Here, and let's go up to this. Let's go to older, and let's go to back up to, and let's go to rooms. Okay, and let's try 13. No, 12. Let's try 12. Night school entrance. And let's pull this out so I can see them. We do have a 1 in here, though, but where is 1? 1. Attempts to enter the enrollment tent. So where is 1 here? Oh. Oh, so it is there. Okay, of course. So that's entrance 7. Then we go to night school. Okay, that's all of these. And then night school through 13. Copy. Okay, and here's where it's going to get freaky. Okay, not really freaky, I'm just kidding. Older rooms. Paste. Okay. Now the only thing is I don't remember. Rename files to IDs. Okay, that's after I got the IDs. Update door destinations. Update JSON IDs. Update metas. Update new door destinations. Update new door IDs. Update old IDs. Okay, so I use Claude because I'm gonna actually use these. In fact, I should almost number these as steps, but so I think what I did here was I manually update JSON IDs, found all, get the new ID without extension, read, store old ID for reporting, data get ID, update the ID, data ID equals new ID. Right back with nice formatting. Old ID, new ID. Hmm. I'm gonna try something here, even though I don't have that much time left today. We're gonna go to Claude. Honestly, I should. Here. No, I don't actually need to ask it anything. All I want to do is I want to go back through the things here. Okay. Let's see here. Uh, uh, Input. See, I should have kept up with the dates on here so that I know. Yep, chapter in your get property list. Layout tool.g. I'm getting this error when trying to write out the chapter string. That's old. It would access the room instance. Okay, in layout room. Let me keep going. Let me find here. Add the chapter property and get property list entry after the rooms were already loaded. That seemed to do it. I just reloaded the scene, moved some panels, and no errors. Thanks, I'm done for this period. Friday, December 12th. I need a Python script written to help me rename some data in some JSON files. Okay. So I partially renamed my actual files in the specific format I need. For instance, what was once called 004 caves of dragon mount.json is now okay. Understand that first. Oh, yeah. The pages. That's okay, that's a thought. I could have them all subtitles so that each one corresponds to each like thing instead of having them actual blank pages. They're not blank pages. It's I think I'll do that. I think I'll do that. I'll rename all those deals to actual title. So we'll actually have like 4 different titles there. We'll actually have 6 different titles, but 4 titles there. Uh, okay. Yes, I understand. You renamed your files. Okay. Need an ID and destination to match to a point. First, let me explain what I want. So the old ID has the old name. So the ID has the old name, and the old prefix is just a 3-digit number leading zeros. For instance, 004 is also 5 and 6. So right now, I need the ID to duplicate the file name. We'll do the doors afterwards. The ID is just a file name without the JSON, so ID 004 Caves of Dragon Mark becomes 002 T1 P1 Caves of Dragon Mount. Note, the prefix separated by underscores, but the character after the prefix has a hyphen in it, so I need that done for each JSON file. So rename all the ID fields in the JSON files to their file name with the extension JSON removed. You want to go through each. I don't know if we can do it. It should be able to do it just fine, but okay. Okay, so it's Monday the 15th. And I'm trying to figure out the order of the Python scripts because I'll have to do the same thing with this next section of JSON files. Can you, starting from Friday, list all the Python scripts, and there might be 4 or 5 I had you write in the order I had you write them in. Just list the titles, not the actual scripts themselves. I mean, I can go and do it manually, but I'd rather see if it can pull them up, and so I can just go bing, 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 bing. Here are the Python scripts I wrote for you in order. Split combine rooms. Split the combine rooms. Nope. The split script is old. Very, very old. Not from Friday the 12th of December 2025. Maybe I only had the 2. I thought I know I had to go to ChatGPT, but maybe only 2. Update door destinations. Update JSON IDs to match file names. Okay, that's weird. Okay. Shoot, it's almost time for me to go. But let's go to ChatGPT. We'll see if this is the last thing here. What's different? Okay. Okay. Oh, maybe I did only a couple of things in Claude. Here's how it works. The code. I'm almost there. So take a look JSON. We'll change the ID to match the title and the method above. Each title. So in the JSON. Okay. So in this current conversation, starting at where I asked you, how good are you at Python 3? Could you list the scripts I had you write in the order I asked them in? Just the names of the script. I know you didn't make actual names, but just a describing sentence. Sense. Of each script. See. Updates each room's IDs to match the title. Spaces to underscores, caps preserved, keeping the prefix intact and printing what changed. Door destination retargeting script fixes door destination fields by matching the prefix and replacing the old suffix with the correct current room ID suffix. Door ID renaming script updates each door's own ID to use the destination's title suffix, turning door to sky into door to fire in the sky. Right, okay. Room file name renamer script renames each JSON room file so that the file name matches the internal room ID. Metadata file name sync script, BattleBots edition, renames files in the /metadata folder so that metadata JSON matches the corresponding room file name using the shared prefix to pair them correctly. And after bravely correcting the file extension, plot twist. All systems synchronize. Okay, thanks. Because need to do all of again. I'm trying to make sure that I do them in order way I did the other ones. Anyways, that's all I need right now. Thank you. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I don't know if I'm going to do it right now. I'll be able to do it right now. I need to copy over the metadata files. So old rooms. Where are we at? We're in the older projects. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go up to here and I want to go to layout tool data and I want to go to the night school stuff. So all the way to this copy. Go to old rooms. Let's go into metadata. Go ahead and paste. So now we can do that. All right. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to Claude here. Did I tell you what I did manually first before I actually started using the Python? And I think I did. That's just I wanted to pull it out if it can do it. If it can, it can't. But you manually renamed the actual files themselves first. You changed the process manual step. Rename the physical files to the new format. Update IDs inside JSON to match the new file names. Update door destinations to reference the new IDs. Okay. I probably didn't share everything though with that's not what I want. This one. Let's go back to old rooms. Okay. So I think I basically did the prefix, and what I did, I think, was I named So, okay, so I added chapter. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and call this a day. Um, Tomorrow, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rename the script files to where they have like step numbers, and then when I'm sure I've got everything the way they're supposed to be, then that initial part, I'll probably have it write me a script to do that initial part too, um, which is adding the chapter field to each of them, and then changing label to title, and I can have it do it, and it will probably do it kind of quick. And that way I don't have to rename some of that either. And then all I'm doing is I'm renaming prefixes. I think okay, so I think what I did was I so I manually modified the prefixes on all the files' current names. Correct? Okay. Did I mention doing anything before that step? I don't think I did. I just want to looking back at right. No, you didn't mention anything. Then you had partially renamed the files and then went straight into writing script to update the IDs. Okay. Um, I don't really have to tell you because it's kind of irrelevant. Other other than to say I'm going to probably automate that other stuff I did first. Um, but not only did I manually rename the prefixes, I also went in and manually changed the changed label to title and then added a chapter field. Then added a chapter field. I then went through each room page and gave it a unique title based on the content. That's something I will have to do manually. And then since I ran out of time with you, I had to go over to Chat GPT to write the rest of my scripts. But tomorrow I'll automate the label title, label the title, and chapter fields. Yeah, so full manual process was inside each JSON file, changed label to title and added a chapter field. Manually created unique titles for each room based on the content. Can't be automated. Renamed the physical files with new prefixes based on those titles. I used my scripts to update IDs and destinations. You're not planning to automate step 1. For your next batch of files makes sense. Yes. However, I'm supposed to quit for the day now, so I'll ask you to do that tomorrow. Thank you. Okay. Thanks, Rook. As if he's still seen here. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm off for the day. Thanks for the chat. Okay. I don't know. The chat GPT just tends to get over dramatic. Which one? Cancel. Okay, controls S. Let's say room data. Okay, and then now let's close it. Alright. Alright, so yeah. I want to thank everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll resume tomorrow. And I'll try to automate all the renaming stuff to get all that stuff done. And then I'll probably work on after I get I don't know. It might be before I actually get those files integrated. Yeah, might be before I get those files integrated. Uh, I'll see about shrinking them down, basically, like cutting about half of them out so that I don't have so many in the game. So the chapter isn't so big. 15 times 4 is 60. Maybe 60 is the most I should go. But maybe I could keep it down to 45 instead. 12 times 4, which is 48. That's not gonna work. 10 times 4 is 40. That might work. 9 times 4 is 36. That might even be better. I mean, it just kind of depends. I'll see how much I can shrink it down without, without putting too many things to do in one single page or whatever. Anyways, so yeah, we'll get to that tomorrow. Thank you for watching part 2, and I will see you tomorrow.